Hi, this is Michael, and in this chart we're looking at gold, and I'm going to talk about why I think gold might go to $8,000. So this is on the assumption that we're probably within some kind of expanding pattern. And the reason for that is because, well, how can I say it? Wave A here in brackets, does that mean we're in wave D? I think we are in wave D. I think wave D is going to expand. It wouldn't be the first time we saw D wave expand, especially if you've seen my Dow Jones analysis videos. I think a lot of things expand due to the way that money's printed, and you know things will oscillate somewhat over long periods of time when that sort of thing happens. But why do I think it's a D wave? Well, for starters, there's a 5 wave move down, and you can't count that as a full correction. C waves only happen, sorry, 5 wave moves down only happen in C and E. So why can't it be an E wave? Well, it could be, but in terms of the larger pattern and how much this is going to expand, I don't think it's really that necessary to know for sure, because whether it's a D or the start of a major move up, like a um, like a massive wave 3 potentially, and this is wave 1, we're still going to see that expansion based on this idea that this move here is a zigzag, wave A. Because the first move after a 5 wave move is a zigzag, wave A, according to RS Wave. That's my opinion, might not be yours. So if I am to assume that's correct, then I have to take a look at this structure here. So I've labeled up what I think is going on this structure, and this will explain why I think this target might be possible. So I'll just go to the daily chart, go back a bit. Okay, so at the beginning of this move in 99, we saw a very sharp and very small, tiny wave 1. We then had a wave 2 and then a wave 3. Well, not quite. Wave 3 went all the way up to 2011. If you take a look at the subdivisions, I believe the correction ended right here, and then we see a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 3, 4, 5. So complete 3 up here, and then I believe this is a sharp correction, A, B, C, D, and then weak wave E. You have to pay attention to this wave E because it's very specific, and it's definitely a bit strange, but there are too many things telling me that this is the only way to count this. Wave 4, and so what would this be the start of in that case? Well, I'll get to that in a sec. So if wave 1 is the shortest, then waves 3 and 5 tend to be similar in length. So the length from wave 2 to the end of wave 3 is that distance, right, up to 8,000. So therefore, if we're looking at this structure here, I see a 1, 2, 1, A, B, weak wave C, D, E. Now, at the small degree, there is a little bit of a problem with this, the start of this move. I originally thought that maybe, just maybe, this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 incoming, which means that this wouldn't go very far at all, would it? So The one thing that made me think that maybe it could be a small wave 5 is what's going on at a small degree. But that doesn't mean it's true. But we need to be open to the possibilities. So let's take a look at this move up since, I think we need the hourly chart for this one. So in this yellow box that I've got drawn here, the first move up in what I believe is the end of wave E here is a zigzag. And then we have wave 2, and then I'm expecting another zigzag. So if that's the case, where does the first wave end? So I think it ends up here. Wave for 5 waves up. 1, 2, 3, 3. Sorry, 1, 2, 3. Sorry, 3 ends up here. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we had a 3, 3, 5, 3, 5. So yeah, 5 wave moves there, and then what's coming next? More than likely needs to be a correction. So A, B done. I think B's done now. So I think we're going to see like a bit of a pullback correctively, and then another 5 wave move. And that'll be wave 3. So depending on how far this ends up going, in terms of such a correction like this, like when we got wave 1 zigzag, and then if we saw A, B, C, D, E, whatever, and then the second part of the zigzag for 3, and then corrective, whatever, and then the wave 5 zigzag, that looks like a weak move. It might hit the highs. And if it does that, what will that mean? Okay. So that's interesting. Could that be the end of this entire move up? Well, I'm not sure. Nobody knows. But given that it's pretty weak looking, I suppose it could just be a weak start, to wave 3, which can happen. It's not impossible. It's just wave 1. The rest of it could start to subdivide into wave 2 and then continue higher. So it really just does depend. If it does go just to the high, there's nothing to really measure that with, and it doesn't really make much sense, to be honest. What does make sense is an overall weak looking wave 5 that's as long as wave 3. But then how long would that take, right? If it's looking, it's already weaker than end of wave 2. How long did that take? So wave 2, end of wave 2 to the top there. So it took like 3,500 days roughly, right? And then how long have we taken so far for this move? All right, so we've taken 2,500 days roughly. So we only need to take another 1,000 days to complete this. That's doable. And the reason I think it might be doable is because if you look at the corrections that have already occurred, you've already got 2 sideways corrections, right? You've already got 2 lengthy sideways corrections. Now, from experience, I know that can mean that market can move very fast, right? And then the falls can correct really sharply, right? And quickly type thing, right? And I'm not saying it's going to take this long. Like it could be less. I don't know. I really don't know. The point is that, if we're going to 8,000, right, and we make the wave 3, wave 4 might be sharp, and then up, and then another sharp move, and then another sharp move up. could technically be done by mid next year or something, right? And obviously you'd have to go to 8,000 or roughly, something like that, right? This is just an illustration. Because of those alternations and because of the time it takes to, you know, like for example, from the start of this move, how long would that be roughly? It'd be about 3,500 days. So it'd be roughly similar in time, but it may not look like it right now. But think about it, alternation, it'd have to be two sharp fours up the top. I don't know. That's just food for thought, interesting. And what would this wave actually be? Well, funny that I said B because I think it would be a B, but only only the first wave of B. So it'd be like the A wave of B, right? So that would mean that we'd probably fall in three waves, and it'd probably take a long time to correct that sort of thing. Um, and like I explained to you, I don't think that's a full zigzag like A, B, C, simply because, well, C is way too long and weak, and this looks like an A wave. So expansion is possible, like a B wave, expanded B wave, or the correction expanding upwards, but really long term ongoing, that type of thing. Look, it can happen. I'm not sure. This is just an idea at the moment. I thought I'd share it just to see, if it resonates with anyone. Uh, if you agree, you agree. If you don't, you don't. But I'll definitely be keeping an eye out for this move that's happening and what will happen when it gets to the highs and what kind of correction we will see. Will it be easy to trade long? It could be. So that will be very interesting to see once we get there. So hopefully you found this interesting and informative. Thank you for watching.